Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. So today's pick a card, we will be taking a look at what may be hindering your growth and how you can turn this into abundance. So it doesn't matter what area you may be watching this video for, because it could be that what I speak about in this video, you might think it might not even connect to a particular area, but everything is connected. So I've really taken a look at the thorn that may be stopping you from reaching the blessing that you may have clicked on this video to have bloom. I hope that made sense. I feel like it didn't. I hope it did. But yeah, that's what we're taking a look at. So I have 3 crystals for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the labradorite. Pile number 2 is the green calcite. And pile number 3 is the angelite. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what may be hindering your growth and how you can turn that and alchemize that into abundance and how to reach abundance in that area. So you guys chose the labradorite crystal. I'm going to start with this deck. So I want to say about this deck really quickly. If you like this, when I use this, I'm going to have the link down below for you guys to purchase this. One of my lovely subscribers, Rachel, she sent me this deck. And it's so beautiful and it connects with me really well. And I thought if it's connecting with me really well, it'll be connecting with you guys too. So if you do want to purchase this, I will have the link in my description box. But yeah, thank you, Rachel, for sending me this deck again, because I love it very much. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s, the labradorite pile. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth in the area they're asking about, and how can they turn that into abundance? What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? We have temperance. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? 9 of Pentacles. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? Oh, hang on. Your card just fell on the floor. We have the 8 of Swords. I need to buy a new chair because this creaks all the time. Pile number 1. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? The Hierophant. And the back of the deck, you guys have the 10 of Cups. Okay. Okay. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth? I feel like you guys are very empathic and very clairsentient, and it doesn't shock me that that comes through straight away because you did choose the labradorite crystal. And I find for empaths and anyone that works with energy like that, the labradorite is like a saving grace. It really stops other people's auras and energy meshing with our own. And I feel like you guys pick up on other people's energy quite quickly, and I feel like you guys can feel depleted by other people quite quickly. I think that one of the things you're being really called to master in order to create abundance is honing in on your own energy and not letting anyone penetrate that. Now, that can be by setting boundaries with other people. That can be by setting boundaries with yourself, because I really do feel like, without realizing it, I just feel like your energy is so fluid. You may be my water pile, but I am picking up a lot of air. I feel like you guys are super fluid, and there's sometimes where you'll be super drained and you don't know why, and you're being called to be very much centered and in the present, to really see where your energy is going, because there's certain foods that can, really take us out of our body or give us anxiety and things like that. There are, a lot of the times when we go on the internet, these internet, whatever it is that we're going on, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, that is a realm in itself where there's a lot of energy going on, and we can pick things up and take it back with us. We don't realize it. And I feel like you guys specifically having like a morning routine set where you are centering your energy, I think that is going to be very vital for you in any success in any area, and just really grounding and stabilizing yourself in your own emotions and energies, and not taking on other people's projections, thoughts and feelings. Because even though some of you guys may have been like working on boundaries and putting in boundaries with other people, I think sometimes even when people may like talk to you, it's like they're almost offloading onto you, and you care about people a lot, so I almost feel like you take on a lot from other people. You take on a lot of energies. You could just be in a room with someone that's feeling really angry and you'll take it on. So I think being very aware of feelings and emotions, and having yourself be very centered and creating a very good protection around your own energy, specifically in the mornings, I think that's really, really gonna help you guys. Because I almost feel like waking up at a specific time in the morning, maybe doing a workout so you're in your physical body, or maybe sitting down and journaling, or I did in, what video was it the other day? I did in my guidance from Rhiannon video, I was being shown, Rhiannon was taking me to like sitting in my own physical body, and it's like, okay, now we're aware of emotions that are coming up, and I feel frustrated today, so I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. So it was like I was being called to like tune into my own body so that I knew where I stood first thing. So anything above that, I knew what was mine and what was not. And that was the message to the viewers, to like do that. And I feel like I want to kind of mention that here, because I feel like a lot of the times it's like the ideas you have are right, thoughts you have are right, the way you want to apply yourself to something is right, but then things get in the way, like you feel super drained, or you feel super tired, or other people may get in the way of it, and you're being called to really center and be firm in your own energy and have that kind of tunnel vision, because you guys may be somebody that tends to be in other realms a lot, you may daydream a lot, you're being called to really be centered. And like I feel like for you guys, having things structured and having a to-do list, but in a fluid way, in the sense of when you wake up in the morning, listen to your energy, feel into your energy. How do you feel? What do you want to do? Write down what it is you feel that you want to do that day, and focus on that and only that, and have it like tasked, like 1, 2, 3. I feel like that's going to really help you there. And I feel like if you're like, but I feel really tired, it's like, okay, so you're waking up and you're feeling really tired, feel into when you feel really good. What did you eat then? What were you doing then? Were you on your phone as much? Who were you talking to then? And when you felt really low and fatigued, what were you eating? What were you doing with, you know, your energy? Where was your energy going? Being conscious of where your energy goes and having control over your energy like that is really going to aid you, because we then literally have the 9 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups is at the back of the deck. So it's almost like all of these ideas that you have of what you need to do, they're right. It's just making sure that you are tackling them maybe one by one. I just feel like maybe there's a lot of projection on you, or you feel like you need to live up to other people's expectations or society's expectations, and that may, like, you know, kind of hinder where your intuition is telling you to go, or your body one specific day is calling you to rest because the next day you may have an influx, and then it's almost like I'm trying to push something to be done on the day that my body wants to rest. So it's like you being in tune with your body, and you being in tune with your energy and listening to it and allowing it to show you what is going to be right for you. I feel like it's going to be a game changer for you. And if you haven't watched the guidance from Rhiannon video, I would say to maybe watch it, because it wouldn't shock me if you were drawn to the pile 1. I know it was pile 1 that came through in, or even if you just want to go listen to pile 1 on that video, because she was really referencing sitting in the body and allowing emotions to come up and feelings to come up first thing, setting a certain like 30 minutes at a time to your routine so that you can be aware of what comes up and let that out first. I feel like you having control over your energy like that is going to really, really help you guys, as well as maybe doing shadow work and understanding how to have a hold over your emotions so that you don't get swayed by people maybe triggering you and things like that, because with being an empath and being clairsentient, we can become, you know, quite sensitive and emotional to other people's like opinions, and knowing that like someone's opinion isn't it doesn't define me. I think that's another thing that's really going to help with your success. Someone could tell you that something's not going to work out, but that's their projection. You do not have to take that on as your own. And understanding your own energy and understanding your own intuition and where you need to go is going to have you maybe block that person's opinion, because it's like you're projecting your fear onto me. So knowing who you are, understanding who you are and what your emotions are that day, and what it is that, you know, you just defining yourself, that is going to really create blessings for you. Whereas I feel what hinders your growth is when you take on projections from others, when you allow other people's opinions of you to sway you. And then on top of that, I just feel like if you guys have mastered that, it's just the everyday learning to control your own energy and where it's going. It's going to give you more time to like pour into yourself and pour into things that you know, pour into your own energy to enjoy things that you love and create abundance there. Because even like, it's all about being conscious with you guys, because I'm being taken to spend into. Some of you guys may emotionally spend, or you may kind of be really drawn to something really quickly, like purchase it, and then the moment's passed, you're not really drawn to it anymore, but you've just spent money on it. So it's like, it's like being conscious of where the money's going. Why do I need this? And questioning that as well. Am I being influenced into purchasing this? Is this really what I need right now? Do I really want this right now? Or am I doing this for something else? And if I'm doing it for something else, let's tap into it. I think part of your life lesson is to master your own energy, and not take on residue from other people. And yes, we can buy crystals to ground ourselves and protect ourselves. As far as protecting ourselves, I think it's tailored to the individual of what herbs work for you, what crystals work for you, what you work with to cleanse and protect your energy like that. But I just feel like for you, it's more so being present and grounded in this conscious moment and seeing where, you know, what foods you're taking in, where your money's going, who you're speaking to, mindlessly scrolling on social media. I think that for you guys is, because it's easy for you guys, you may have a lot of Pisces in your chart, a lot of 12th house placements, or you could just have a lot of water in your chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but again, it's air as well, so Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It's almost like I'm floating, it's like I'm in my mind, and what's gonna bring that abundance is if you concrete something. Because I also feel like you guys have amazing ideas, because I keep being told your ideas are gold. It's just establishing and bringing that in and making those physical moves to bring that in, instead of it just being in the mind. So it's like, I want to buy a house, so it's like you're thinking of all these things in regards to a house, but then you may be spending your money here, there, and everywhere, not saving up for that deposit on that house. Or, you know, it's little things like that. Or it's like, it's all here, I know what I want, it's just bringing it into the physical and really taking a look at where you choose to disassociate from something and where you choose to daydream and not live in the present. I think looking at that and working through those wounds and triggers is really going to help you be in the present. So like, you may feel lonely, so you may avoid that feeling of loneliness by tapping into something else or connecting to something else, like video gaming or something like that. But you're being called to, again, home in on your own energy. Where is this loneliness feeling coming from? The moment you cleanse and do shadow work and clear that feeling, to remove yourself from that energy of just being solo in the present, you're going to be able to embody it a lot more. There isn't a trigger, or you're not feeling the need to avoid it, and then you can, you know, tap into that. Or you may have a fear of really being seen, so you may think about being seen but never really put yourself out there. So you really want to target where these fears are, where you feel the need to step away from something, and really do shadow work there, because I feel like naturally you're going to ground in then. I'm trying to think of an example for myself. Yeah, like I've been really open with you guys. Like, I've always had an issue with like food and binge eating, and I always found when I would binge eat, it was always when I felt like, it was almost when I was purging and cleansing and detoxing my own emotions, and I felt like an absence of something, so I wanted to fill the void with food. So trigger warning, because I am talking about that, but that was my thing that I did. And whenever I feel the need to do that, I usually find that I'm trying to fill a void. So now I try to listen, and it's hard, and sometimes I still do, but I listen to what my body's trying to fill with that void. And it can be very emotional and a bit triggering, but it shows me where I'm avoiding that, and it gives me that inkling. So you know, it could be like spending habits for you guys, it could be the same as me, it could be video gaming or just daydreaming, where you feel like you don't need to be present. That's where you want to target, because it's okay to daydream sometimes, it's okay to play video games, but when we're escaping there to avoid a feeling, that's when it then becomes a little bit, well, it hinders our growth. And that's where you're being called. So take a look at where you tend to avoid, because it could even be as well that you may avoid confrontation with other people and telling people, hey, that upset me, or I don't want to do this, and then you may almost self-sacrifice to do what other people want, and it's like you're not fulfilling your own energy, so it's hindering your growth because you're doing what the other person wants and not you. So really honing into why you feel you can't stand up for yourself or say no, that's another thing. I feel like that's what will hinder your growth as well. So it's just being really conscious, which takes its time for you guys. So yeah, I feel like that's what it is. I also feel like Spirit's constantly working with you there though, like helping you ground, I feel. And I feel like you have already done a lot of work already, because it could even be that you've learned to put in boundaries with people, and you've learned to stand up for people, and you've learned to do your own thing. However, it's the little nitty gritty bits now of like, okay, finances need to be in check of this, or okay, I have this really cool idea and I still haven't put it on the ground yet. Okay, I need to be present and do this. So it's those little things for some of you, whereas others of you, it may be the more deeper aspects. Wrong cards. These are the cards I wanted to use. Pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth, and how can we turn it into abundance? How can my pile number 1's turn this energy into abundance? How can they find we have water expression. This not shock me at all. So we have water, pile number 1. What's hindering my pile number 1's growth, and how can they? We have fire, passion. What is hindering my pile number 1's growth, and how can they? If you have fire placements in your chart, you're being called to hone in on them and activate them wherever they are, because you may have like a lot of like an abundance of air or an abundance of water, and I almost feel like you might have like a fire placement prominent, and you're being called to tap into that. I feel like it's really gonna aid you and help you activate these energies and bringing things to action, or doing things in a bit. Because the thing is, I feel like, I don't know if you're trying to bring a career into focus, or it's just, I see some of you and it's like, I want to be seen more, or I want to be more vocal, or I almost feel like I'm floating and I'm not a person, and I want to feel like one. And it's like I'm taking out these splinters so that I can really show up as myself, because I'm hearing Nobody Gets Me by SZA. So I feel like you may feel like nobody understands me, I'm always misunderstood, people don't get me, or people think I'm shy, or I have all of these things in my head and people don't know that. And it's like you're being called to like bring that to action and embody that and step into that energy, and boom, I'm here, and become it, you know. That's where I'm thinking of like creativity, because I'm not saying abandon these ideas and daydreams. They're going to be used to fuel a fire. I don't know why I'm hearing material. I am a material girl. We're living in a material world, and I'm a material girl. So I'm even being shown, like, especially if it's a career or something, or it's a lifestyle you want, maybe creating a mood board and getting really creative with it to like inspire you. And then it's like, okay, first thing on the mood board is this. Could be getting a car. So it's like, okay, we're going to focus on this first. And then it's like bringing the excitement there. So your daydreams to like aid that, you know what I mean? Making a playlist of, you know, you driving in your car and you know, looking at cars and embodying that and becoming that. And it's like, right, okay, let me save up my money so I can take driving lessons or buy that car. And it's like making that, becoming that first, and it's like making it fun, using that daydream pad to make it fun, and then it's like, boom, we can move on to the next one. Then that's what I'm being called for you guys to do, if you're trying to bring something into fruition like that. But I feel like right now your energy's going elsewhere, and that's why you're being called to use that energy and bring it into an activation of something. Right now it's either going on maybe other people, or again finances, or just scrolling social media. It's little things where your energy's just going places where it's just being taken from you. Pile number 1, Drum Awaken. And the back of the deck you have Medicine Shield Protection. I would say wake up maybe 30 minutes earlier than what you normally do, and spend that 30 minutes, whether it's like envisioning a white light of protection, stepping into your own kind of like protection cloak and envisioning that, maybe praying or connecting to the universe and spirit and asking for protection in that way, cleansing your energy with herbs or water or whatever it is that works for you, maybe doing like a candle spell for protection, using whatever herbs and whatever works for you. I feel like really rooting yourself, grounding yourself, setting that intention and creating that level of protection. I think that first thing is going to really, really just aid you anyway. And having that first 30 minutes of like no phone, nothing, to just really embody that energy, I think that's really, really going to help you, to be honest with you. But I just feel like you have a lot of ideas, and it's like placing that energy off wherever it's going and onto them, because you have a lot of beautiful energy, but it's like targeting it, like putting it on one thing and going with that. You know, when we use the drum, we journey into another realm, we journey to do something. So it's almost like I'm activating something and I'm tunnel vision going for that. So it's like I'm picking one thing and I'm pouring all of my energy towards that. Because some of you guys may be looking at like a bunch of things and going, how am I going to get all of this done? One step at a time. Create your mood board and then pick one thing and then tick off as you go. Because even bringing it into a visualization of a mood board, it's going to physically be there for your eyes to see in your reality, you know? It does help. It helps me. I feel like it would help you guys. Because it's still you bringing it into the physical. I'm looking at it. My eyes are seeing it. My subconscious mind is seeing it. Yeah, pile number 1. I also feel as well like there's just so much energy that some of you guys should be putting towards yourself, and I feel like sometimes you'll put it towards other people, or maybe it might not even be physically with other people, but you may worry about other people's opinions. So there's worrying and your energy is going there, or worrying about what other people have projected onto you and maybe it's going there, or worrying about, you know, somebody from the past and maybe thinking back to them and then it's going there. And it's like, that's okay if that's happening, because it's part of the process. We all do that. There's nothing wrong with it. However, being aware of where that energy is going and using it to circle back and boomerang back to us. So like, for example, you could use, like, for example, I remember Eminem saying in one of his songs, I think it was Survival, he was like, I like it when they hate on me because I use it as fuel to make myself better. So it's like, he could easily worry about what people were saying and saying mean things, but he uses it as fuel to be like, ha, shown you. And I'm not saying to do that if that doesn't work for you, but using that energy in a way that it works for you. Using that feeling to aid you and work on, you know, why you don't want to show up in the present, or why you don't want to put your energy into that, what you're avoiding. It's like, if something feels like it's being taken from you, using it to fuel back. If that makes sense. Like, if you're constantly scrolling YouTube, watching YouTube videos where people kind of like inspire you, and then having it on in the background while you're creating your, you know, kind of like dream life. So say now you want to be like a vlogger or something like that, watching other vloggers and having them on in the background. So it's like you're using that energy where it may have been going somewhere, but you're using it to fuel your subconscious mind as you're working on your own project there. If that makes sense. So that's where you're being called to then use it, because you want it to boomerang back, because that energy is for you and it's your fuel. Pile number 1 final card. What can my pile number ones do to turn anything that's hindering their path into abundance? We have eternal dance, movement, wheel of life, path of least resistance. Do you see that? Eternal dance, movement. I feel like it would also help you guys to move physically in the morning. And if you just don't have the means to get to a gym, or you don't have physical equipment in the home, even just sticking on a YouTube video of like Pilates for 30 minutes, centering your energy, 30 minutes of yoga, 30 minutes of Zumba, you know what I mean, or dancing, or even just turning music on and dancing and moving your energy around. I feel like that's going to stop stagnant energy, and I feel like it's just going to let you be very connected to your physical body in that way, and very much in the present. And a lot of the times, if we first thing in the morning center our energy or move our body around, even intuitively, it's going to show us where there's stored energy of frustration, pain, triggers. It's going to come up, and if we sit there and process that in the morning, it's out and it's gone, and it's not coming with us into our day, and we've allowed that energy to move around. So I feel like that's really going to help you with the eternal dance and the movement card. And it's really going to give you more energy then. And then we have Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. I would also say with this card particularly, especially with all the green around it, connect to Mother Gaia and ask Mother Gaia to help you tune into her frequencies and ground yourselves, specifically in the morning. Or even working with Mother Gaia, or just being out in nature. I feel like being really present. I have a feeling like I want to say to someone, keep your phone indoors and go outside. Whether it's just in your garden or just going for a quick walk. Just because I feel like, especially if you can get to nature, or just turning your phone off and not looking at it, because I want you to be safe, so maybe keep your phone on you if you're going in nature by yourself, but just really grounding yourself there and being present and not worrying about X, Y, and Z in that moment, and looking at things through that more grounded view. I feel like that's going to help you, because I feel like where you guys feel the most connected and the most centered is nature, or in just deadpan silence with your own thoughts. And I think that is what you're called to maybe do more of. So pile number one, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what may be hindering your growth and how you can turn that into your blessings, basically. So you guys chose the green calcite. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we are going to move into the oracle cards. If you like this deck that I'm using, I'm going to have the link down below. One of my lovely subscribers, Rachel, she sent me this deck, and it's really beautiful, and I connect with it really well. So I wanted to link it for you guys to purchase it as well, because it's just really lovely. So yeah, if you're drawn to it, I'll have the link in the description box. So thank you very much for sending this deck to me, Rachel. I love it very much. So let's get in. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides, the green calcite pile, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. What is hindering my pile number 2's growth, and how can they turn it into abundance? What is hindering my pile number 2's growth, and how can they turn it into abundance? What is hindering my pile? Ooh. Don't I just shush? I can't speak then. I don't know why I just saw Snow White. We have the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. I just got shown Snow White when she was like singing by the fountain. Pile number 2. What is hindering my pile number 2's growth? Knight of Swords. What is hindering my pile number 2's growth? 3 of Cups. Okay. Back of the deck we have the Chariot. Pay attention to where people may be giving you advice specifically in career. Your career now, not career the country. Every time I say career, people think I mean career the country, but I mean career work. This is what I'm getting. I was shown Snow White, and like, I didn't understand why I was being shown Snow White when she was singing by the fountain and like the evil queen's like up in the palace. And when you think of Snow White, like, she was very innocent and she's just doing her thing, singing by a fountain, you know, she's just doing her thing, living her life, being the fairest of them all. And the queen, who I'm sure was, I don't know much, but I'm sure the queen was going to be some sort of guardian to her in some sort of way. I don't know, I may be wrong, but like the queen was just very jealous of her and wanted to be the fairest of them all, and then obviously send someone to like, you know, kind of take her out basically. And I'm not trying to scare you, that's not, you know, no one's going to give you a poison apple or anything like that, but what I'm saying is the poison apple being, people are really drawn to you and your light. Be very careful with who's giving you advice, or when I say watching you, I mean like maybe in like everyday work. Like, be careful who you're being naive or letting your guard down to, especially in regards to career and like who you're telling things to. And I don't like to be too doom and gloom. I don't like to go there, but sometimes I have to if it's coming through. You know, the Six of Wands, everyone's championing this person. They're on the horse and everyone's looking up to them and championing them and looking up to them. And the thing about that is, when people are looking up to you and you are in the spotlight, or people see something in you that you possess that they like, people are either going to want to try and mimic it, take it for their own, or people are going to try and knock you down off that horse. Because while we have the Six of Wands here, what comes after the Seven of Wands is those people that were cheering for the guy on the Six of Wands, they start to target him and he has to defend his position. And it's that saying of like, they put you up to tear you down. So I just feel like being very careful who you let into your own energy, because even I'm being shown scenarios where like you could be really open to people and letting people know what you're up to in regards to your career or just your energy in general, just being really open. But then you may get like an intuitive nudge or something like that to maybe close off your energy or take time out for yourself. And people like you, people like your energy. So you taking then time out to yourself or pouring your energy back into you, some people may get triggered by that or feel entitled to your energy or entitled to what it is that you're up to. And that's where the lover then turns into the hater sort of energy. And then they get triggered by you doing what's best for you. And I have a feeling here with the Three of Cups here and the Two of Cups here, I do have this feeling that there's almost this feeling of like, even people that like enjoy being around you or enjoy what you do, there's almost this feeling of like wanting to keep you in reach, wanting to keep you where you are so they can benefit from you, not wanting you to maybe have confidence in maybe what you're doing and maybe saying no because they're not going to benefit from you then saying no to them. And it's almost like maybe whether it's just evil eye or people like just not giving you the best advice or trying to like scare you into not doing things so that you stay where they need you or stay where they feel comfortable you being, if that makes sense. Because I really see a lot of that. And I think sometimes you may get love bombed, whether it's in friendships, career situations and things like that, or even in relationships where you get love bombed because people are like, oh my God, I like this light, I want this light, I want this light. And then it's almost like they'll try and use it up in the best way that they can, or try and take from it in the best way that they can. So be really careful, especially if you're doing this in regards to career. Be careful who you are sharing ideas with, sharing what you're doing, your next steps in career. Be careful where that's going, and also just people wanting to take from you in that way. Like I don't know why I keep thinking of like Britney Spears when she was in like her conservatorship, I think that's how you say it. It's like she had finances, she had things that people wanted, people knew that they could exploit that. So it's almost like they stepped in a way of like, we're looking after you, and then kind of exploited it. So it's almost like in that way people may really like what you're doing and then maybe take an idea from you, or people may just really like your energy and just drain you of it, or people may want to get close to you to mimic you in a way, to be like you or to be you. And then when they don't lose access, it's like, oh my God, when they lose access to it, then it's like, oh my God. Because I saw a thing, it was like a voiceover, and it was like, I realized they didn't want to be friends with me, they just wanted to be me, because I see people mimicking and stuff. So I would say to be careful of that, and just really be careful who you're letting into your inner world, because I think that you guys specifically, you have a very pure heart, so you look at life very pure. Like Snow White was not walking around worrying about no evil queen dressed up as an old woman with an apple, because why would she think of that? She was happy singing into fountains with birds. Do you know what I mean? Why would she ever think that? She wouldn't think that, because that's not how she looks at life. But you know, the evil queen, it's like, that's how she was looking at life. And it's being aware of how other people may have motives, because you have a really pure side to you that I think you embody a lot. And I think people sometimes will notice that and be like, okay, let's get in there, let's pull some of that. Or it even is in the sense of like people just wanting to get super close to you, but then almost just feeling entitled to you because you have such a lovely energy. It's almost like they feel entitled to be part of your team, and then when you need to like flow somewhere else or take time out for yourself, it's like they don't like it. They'll take it as rejection, which is a bit of emotional immaturity. So you want to make sure that people aren't doing that, whether it's putting in boundaries with people, whether it's telling people how it is, or whether it's just being very wary of who you're bringing into your circle, because you're somebody with a lot of light, and that can attract moths. And I feel like that's what sometimes hinders your growth. I'm actually being told right now nothing's really hindering your growth, but sometimes there's bumps in the road because of that. I don't feel there's anything right now that's necessarily hindering you, but I do feel like people may specifically say things to you with this Knight of Swords to get to you, or maybe try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, or try and tell you about you, or make you feel bad for you choosing yourself in certain ways. And that's where you're being called to really be aware of that, because I think that you can be sensitive, and then it can hurt you to maybe hurt other people, but it wasn't even really that they're being hurt. You're entitled to say no. You're entitled to keep things private. You're entitled to not respond to a bunch of emails. You're entitled to not be replying to text constantly if you need that energy there. And if you want to move away, and that may be at a convenience to somebody else because they liked that you were around, tough-ish. Do you know what I mean? Tough, you know, to them, because it's like, it's your life, and if something's going to have you expand something, people should want that. I used to deal back in the day, to give an example, with like friendships where I'm somebody that's constantly evolving and needing time out to work on things. Especially back in the day, I was going through a lot family wise and dealing with a lot in healing. I needed a lot to kind of go away, cleanse my energy, detox, and then pop back out. But because a lot of people around me were almost around me because they wanted to like trauma dump on me and have me there, when I would go away and take time out to myself, people didn't like that. Or if I was with a different friend and enjoying my time, those friends wouldn't like that, because it was like, you need to be available for me. And I'd feel like I had to be available to them, so I almost felt like the bad guy for doing that, and I'd be guilt tripped back to it. And that was hindering me being the best version of me, because I was just tailoring myself to everybody else. And I feel like you've dealt with that, or just people keeping you small, or planting doubts of insecurities in your mind to stop you from embodying the best version of you. So really be aware of who's saying what to you, what's being planted in your mind by other people, advice people are giving in certain ways, and just also really listen. You have incredible intuition, and I want to say that. So even because it could be friends that they might mean well, but you doing you may make them a bit envious. So be aware of when you feel like somebody's changing up their energy, when you are making a career move, or you're getting in a relationship, or you're just doing something for you. Be aware of the energy shifts, and maybe be aware of what advice you're taking from certain people then, and just be aware, because I feel like you sometimes are at the brunt of a lot of people's envy. I do see it for you, because it's like you have a lot of light in you, and I think that you want to be careful of where you're getting advice from, 100%. Because I almost feel like people might try and make you dependent on them, or people are naturally dependent on you and your source, like your light source. So it's like they almost want to make you question why you would pull that back to you, if that makes sense, or filter it, or say no. I think sometimes people might gaslight you, and I don't like that at all. And I felt that the minute I saw these, I felt like people might try and gaslight you, or try and make you, like, I see people like trying to pull you back, because you may have grown or evolved a lot, and I see people trying to pull you back where you were before, or tell you that you are where you were before and you're not. So it's being aware of who's saying what and how they may be projecting onto you, and being super aware of that, because there's a lot of like seeing you on your pedestal, enjoying that, but then it's almost like either wanting to be like you, wanting to be you, or wanting to fund off that, or have you off the pedestal to make themselves feel better. I feel like you've been a victim of that, and while I see right now you've got a good handle of things, this is more just be discerning when you're making, you know, connections in career, when you're making new friends, when you're opening up to relationships, or even family members. Be discerning. You've got a really beautiful light about you. Please be discerning with it. Yeah, because it's not in your natural nature to like think the worst of people, and I think because of that, people have seen that and maybe found their way in some way. Be careful. And again, sometimes it's not that people are necessarily bad. They may just super be drawn to you, and then just have wounds within them that feel triggered when someone isn't giving them that energy back. But you don't have to be given that back if you haven't got it to give. You know what I mean? Because I see people trying to barge into your life with this Knight of Swords. That's why I feel like there's love bombing, because it's almost like I'm barging in. I'm not even giving you a chance to like read me, because I'm just funneling love to you. Like, I almost feel you get people that do that. So yeah, definitely be aware of that. But I do want to say that right now, I don't see a lot of blockages in your life. I almost feel like gates are opening for you. It's just while these gates are opening, be discerning, because it's the same thing. And I think you are mastering analysing some things, and analysing some people and their motives. But yeah, I think the people that you're best to connect with are people that have their own thing going for them too, and have that same energy as you. Yeah, they have their own style going on, they have their own career going on, they have, you know, those are the type of people that you want to maybe connect with. And people tell on themselves a lot, so really listen when people speak, especially if they're putting other people down and worried about other people or worried about the wrong things. Pay attention to that. Pile number 2. I'm being told to say as well, right now you've got a really good handle on things, whatever it is that you watch this video for. Like, you've got a really good handle on something you're doing, maybe understanding these energies. It could be pile number 2. I'm hearing you're going in the right direction. That's a message I'm being told to say. Pile number 2. Also, something's gaining momentum. So something in your life that you may be working on career-wise, or just like putting your energy into something, manifesting, it's gaining momentum right now. I'm being shown a wave that's small, but it's getting bigger and bigger. You're on track for something, I'm being told, and it's gaining momentum. So be patient, keep doing what you're doing in whatever this area is, because it's either something you're trying to manifest or trying to get something off the ground. It's building momentum. So just, even if there are sometimes little delays, it's okay, as long as you're picking yourself back up after it, because there's something that things are being moved around and worked so you can walk on that path. So just keep moving forward is a message for something you're doing right now. Pile number, because if you've got an idea that you're wanting to do with your career and you're starting to slowly put the wheels in motion, it's a really good idea. Like, everything's aligning for it. So it's like a thumbs up, like, yes, do this. If you've been thinking about traveling somewhere, moving somewhere, taking a course or starting a job or something like that, it's like, yeah, it's opening up for a reason. So we have prayer and hope. Pile number 2. What hinders pile number 2's growth, and how can they turn it into abundance? We have wealth. How can my pile number 2's turn Medicine bag, treasure. On the back of the deck, you have earth, nurture. So, especially with earth and nurture being at the back of the deck, I do want to say, especially in regards to career and you just getting things off the ground, being selfish with your energy, it's not... You give so much anyway. I think sometimes you may go the extra mile, and being selfish with your energy, I think that's actually going to help you in ways, especially keeping things private sometimes, specifically with your career and ideas you may have, keeping that private until it's out, not telling everybody around you. If you're wanting to make a big decision, maybe tell 1 or 2 people that you trust. Don't announce anything. Move slowly and do not let people know maybe what you're up to. Maybe being a bit aloof like that is really going to help. And then let people see the finished product when it's done. I think that's something that's really going to help, to be honest with you. And also, be careful. Again, I just keep wanting to say, people that are coming in love bombing, you know, all over you straight away, be careful with that. Just please be careful with that. Because it could just be sometimes people are like sending you love, and that's fine. But if you feel like all of a sudden like someone's almost like trying to be really close with you, or, you know, and they're like asking questions about your work, and you see them starting to mimic you in a way, just be wary. Be wary of that. I think you have a lot that people see that they want. I mean, we have treasure, medicine bag, and then we have offerings, wealth. Like, I feel like people see that light in you, and they see that it can turn to abundance. So it's almost like, I want to get on their team. And then when they can't, it's like, that's when they may throw sticks and stones, and the love may turn to hate. And then it's like, on top of that, I feel like people see your light and can see where you're going. So it's almost like they're either trying to hinder it before you get there, or they're trying to get on your team so they can feast with you. You know what I mean? And that's where you want to be really careful. You may even be called sometimes intuitively not to say certain things, or not let people see all of that, so that they don't come in just for that. You know what I mean? Just for the money, or just for the career advice and career ideas, or just for the light that you have and the care and nurture and nature that you have. Or you may even find like sometimes you'll meet people and you don't know why, but you're really shy or closed off around them, and you have no idea why you're so closed off around them, why you're so shy around them, because you're not normally like that. And the reason you do that, your energy going, no, let's hide this part of ourselves from this person. Otherwise they're going to take from it and take from it and take from it. I'm holding myself back from this person. Because sometimes your higher self may know that, and your energy may know that consciously, but your energy may know that subconsciously, but consciously you might not know why you're doing it. And it's like, I don't know why I wasn't so confident around that person, or I don't know why I wasn't telling that person something. Pay attention to who you do that with. Pay attention, because I keep wanting to say it, you're so intuitive. Like, so intuitive. Pile number 2. What is hindering my pile number 2's growth, and how can they turn it into abundance? How can my pile number 2's turn anything that's hindering them into abundance? How can my pile number 2's turn whatever's hindering them into abundance? We have 9 of Hearts. Fulfillment, harmony, and protection. And the back of the deck you have loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. Yeah, I see in the past you've actually had to learn the hard way with friends and opportunities like that. Like, you've had people that you've kind of seen the light in and not expected anything bad from, and they may have just been taken from you, or taken from your energy, or trying to hinder you, or they could have like love bombed you, and then the minute you did something for yourself made you the bad guy. I think you learned from that, and I think that has happened to you in the past, and I think that's something you've dealt with. It happens with a lot of lights, they attract moths, it does happen. But with fulfillment, harmony, and protection, I feel like you following your intuition here and continuing to pour that energy into you and protecting your energy like that, and really feeling people out before you really open up and give them all of that golden, beautiful energy that you have. That's really gonna allow your energy to keep prospering. And yeah, okay, you may have people say, oh, well, this person's this and this person's that, because you're holding that part of yourself back, but it's going to protect you in the long run. You know, people may think, oh, they're sly, they wouldn't tell me about this, they wouldn't tell me about that. They can think you're sly, that's fine. not everyone needs to know everything, you know. And I think you might get people project and gaslight you into saying things because it's like, why aren't you telling me? Why are you being like this? Why are you being so selfish or secretive? Because it's my work and I'm allowed to be, and it means something to me, and this is for my eyes. Like, okay. And I see like that's how protecting that creative spark and that light and that beautiful energy you have, that's really gonna help you 100%. Because a lot of the times when people are just running in quickly and they're like, yes, okay, we can send love and we can get on with people and click with them instantly, but you know when it's organic and flowing, and when it's just someone telling you like they love you straight away and like, oh my god, like let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Like, it's sometimes a little bit of a tactic there, because it's like putting you on a pedestal, love bombing, and then pulling it away. Whereas when you click with someone naturally and you feel open with them, your intuition knows that, it doesn't feel like this rush and you just click really well. It's more of a flowing way. It's not like a boom, 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 elevating you. You know, it's not that. And I feel like that's what you've been learning. But I think that's been one of your biggest hinders. And I feel like I don't see anything around you like that now. At least right now, I think you've learned a lot of lessons. And I see something really blooming for you. But maybe in this next chapter, why I'm being shown something blooming is because something may be coming in that is again elevating you and shining your light even more, and then you're going to get more energies like that. So it's more like be aware of that. So that's why I was being shown Snow White at the beginning. That makes sense now. So pile number 2, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what may be hindering your growth and how you can turn that into abundance. So you guys chose the Angelite crystal. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. I wanted to say, because I said at the beginning of the other 2 piles, this deck was actually sent by one of my lovely subscribers. Her name is Rachel, and she made this really beautiful deck. And I love it very much. It really connects with my energy really well. So I've linked her website in the description box. So if you like the energies of this deck, you can purchase it there. So thank you again, Rachel, for sending me this deck, because I really love it very much. So yeah, let's get in. So the Angelite pile. Spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my Angelite pile. What is hindering my pile number 3's growth? What is hindering my pile number 3's growth, and how can they turn it into abundance? My pile number 3's. What is hindering my pile number 3's growth, and how can we turn it into abundance? We have Temperance. What is hindering my pile number 3's growth? I'm hearing limiting beliefs. We have the 8 of Cups. Pile number 3's growth. We have the Ace of Wands. And the 10 of Swords. We also have the 9 of Pentacles at the back of the deck. So straight away, I heard limiting beliefs, and our limiting beliefs stem from somewhere. A lot of the times our childhood, sometimes, you know, how we were raised, sometimes it can even come from past lives. And a lot of the times when we want to create abundance in a particular area, but we may have wounds that are coming to fruition, or we don't feel like we can, we have to clear that first. Now, this is something I'm being shown here. You have actually set out to do something or align with something, or you've just been naturally aligning with something that you want. So it could be making a lot of money. It could be, you know, finding your career purpose or really building your career and getting success there. It could be love. It could be having, you know, good friendships, or just feeling good in yourself and confident in yourself. Whatever it is, you've either been aligning with it or you've been setting forward to do it, like putting things in motion. And I keep being shown you guys almost feeling like really insecure, even the time of watching this reading, like feeling insecure, getting doubts that something isn't going to work, or having doubts in regards to money and things like that. And you may be feeling like, oh, well, it's not coming in, or it's not going to work, or these insecurities are stopping me from doing it, or not fully believing what it is you're aligning with. When we manifest something and we align with something, our energy naturally aligns to it, but whatever is holding us back is anchoring us into our old timeline. So for us to really fully embody that and see it materialize in our physical world, we have to be aware of what's coming up. So when we start to feel these doubts, because we all have them, when we start to feel doubts, or we start to feel like, oh, I don't think I'm going to have a relationship because this is going to happen, or I don't feel like I'm going to feel super confident because I feel like this and that, we need to target those emotions, because the reason they're coming up, they're showing us, oh, hey, yeah, I want to have that, but I feel like this emotion share. I'm going to bring it into your conscious mind so that you can be aware of it and work through it and pull the thorn. Because when you pull the thorn, I can let go of this anchor and it's gone, and it's no longer tying me into this reality where I have something that I don't want. So whatever it is that you're wanting, I feel like there's an anchor tying you somewhere. And the emotions and the frustrations and whatever it is, you're being called to follow that anchor down as to where it's come from. And how you're going to release that is shadow work, and how you're going to release that is allowing yourself to grieve or feel frustration or feel whatever comes up that is keeping you there. So I'm trying to think of an idea like of what you may be trying to manifest. With a lot of you, I feel like the 8 of Cups, it's almost like more than one thing. But I'm just going to use one avenue. So let's just take a look at finances. Maybe you grew up feeling like you had to work for money. The only time that money came to you was when you worked really hard for it and you pushed for it, and you had to like overextend yourself. So what happens then is we're in a masculine energy when we're doing that. We're chasing constantly. And it's cool to be in a masculine energy and chase something, because that's how we get in our go-getter energy. We've got to balance it though. And how we balance it is we fall back into our receiving energy, our divine feminine energy. That's how we receive wealth and we receive that money. And when we're open to money and it kind of like flowing like that, it comes to us a lot easier. It comes to us in an easier way. Look at the Empress card in Tarot. She's abundant, and the reason she's abundant is because she's not worrying about the crops and making everything perfect. It's like she's planted the crops, she trusts the process, she knows they're coming. So she's balanced that masculine energy with planting the crops and nurturing them, but she's not going over, going out of her energy and pushing for it to happen. Then she's flowing back. Now, a lot of people, when they find friction in an area of abundance, it's because there's an overextension of one energy and not enough of the other. So I almost feel like whatever it is that you may be trying to create abundance in, it's like you've mastered the masculine side of it, you've mastered the work inside of it, you've mastered the push inside, you know how to do all of that, but now we've got to balance it with the receiving. Where do you not feel comfortable receiving, and what insecurity is there? Why do you not feel comfortable? Do you not feel worthy of having that abundance deep down? Do you not feel worthy of having that love coming back deep down? Do you not feel worthy of your career hitting somewhere? Do you not feel like what you have to offer is enough? Because I feel like the physical side of it and working towards something you've got on lock, but it's receiving it and feeling worthy of it for it to come in. That's where there's friction. And that's why you may be feeling feelings of imposter syndrome, not good enough, limiting beliefs, because it's almost like you're telling yourself, and that inner critic telling yourself, I can't have this because I'm not enough. And that's where you want to really be aware of these feelings and energies and where they're coming up, and allow them to purge out and allow them to flow out, and really look at where they're stemming from. You know what I mean? Did you have a parent that really criticized you when you were growing up? Whenever you took a day off, were you criticized for that? Were you not allowed to have that time off, and you didn't feel worthy to have that time off? So now you almost push yourselves, and on the days where you can allow things to rest and go down that hill, are you allowing yourself to kind of like fall back and let yourself rest? Or are you still pushing and paddling, going down that hill, and then feeling defeated and tired? Balance is what's needed here, and really listening to what's stopping you from flowing back. Because if the tide kept going out and out and out, it would just be gone. We'd never have the tide coming back in, but we have a state of flow. And a lot of times, I'll say we need to receive, and we need to pour into ourselves and receive that energy and that nurturing energy and all of that into ourselves first. We don't want to push. Sometimes people will say, but I need to push and I need to work to get abundance. Yes, you do. But too much, you're not going to rest, you're not going to enjoy. And the universe is just going to hear, oh, they're working, pushing. Because that's when they feel worthy, and that's when they're going to feel worthy, when they just push. But you're worthy regardless of the amount of work that you put in. You're worthy of love and abundance anyway. We just in our existence deserve to like live and be happy. So it's learning where those feelings of like, I don't deserve this, I need to push for this, learning where that is and balancing that out, it's going to create abundance for you. Because with the Temperance card, I feel like there's a lot of energy around not feeling good enough. It's like, I know I want this, but then there's this feeling of I don't feel like what I'm doing is good enough, or there's this deep-rooted feeling of like, who am I to be doing this? Imposter syndrome. And that's okay. I've had this too. But that's where we can use those emotions to rewire our brain and use the emotions coming up as a map to find where that anchor is to pull it out. So you're being called to really, when you're taking these big steps, or when you're taking time to be back in that feminine energy and receive, you're being called to really listen why you may feel uncomfortable in that, receiving energy, and why you feel uncomfortable opening up to that abundance. You're being called to really listen to that. And I do feel like right now you're aligning with something that is bringing up, because you're already aligning with something. Because I see like an anchor getting unhooked. But don't, when these feelings of like imposter syndrome and feelings of I'm not good enough come up, don't let them define you, and don't hold on to them. Feel into them, purge, cry, see what comes up, but allow it to flow. Don't let it define you, and don't hold on to it. Allowing it to flow is keeping you in that receiving energy where it just flows out. Allow yourself to really hold space for yourself and let these emotions out, because by letting them out, you're unhooking that anchor from where this is from. Because I feel like you're aligning with this Nine of Pentacles. You have this energy within you. You know what you need to align with. You know what you need to do in order to reach this abundance. It's just allowing the weeds to be pulled up. You know what I mean? Because we can plant seeds all we want, but if we're not going to water and nurture them, they're not going to bloom. So it's allowing yourself to nurture and water yourself, and nurture and water your ideas and projects. And I feel like allowing yourself to receive that abundance back, because it's like you're running towards it, but there's no receiving energy. And I would say really connecting to your divine feminine, really strong. Maybe even just like drawing divine feminine symbols and keeping them around your home so your subconscious is seeing them. Maybe taking time to really be in that energy of receiving. Ask your spirit guides for help in stepping into that receiving energy. And also just like giving to yourself and allowing space within your own self. Like, I'm taking this day off because I deserve it. And off. I'm buying myself this little something because I deserve it. I'm letting myself rest because I deserve it. And really listening to that side. Like, it's like almost like remothering yourself. Because it's the mother that always, is to teach us how to nurture ourselves and tap into that, feminine energy within all of us, because we all have it in us. It's our mother that's going to teach us that. But sometimes, our mothers may not have embodied that energy, and that's where we get a lot of masculine energy and traits like that. And I almost feel as well like giving yourself permission to do for you and not for other people, because I feel like maybe you almost feel like you've had to take care of other people, or work for love, work for work really hard for that praise, but it's like I don't feel worthy unless I have that praise. So you may have been taught in your family home, I have to work for love, or I have to work just so hard for abundance, and it's like I'm just getting pennies back sort of thing. It's like reteaching your brain in that way, and then removing anything that's telling you that abundance can't be yours. I feel like just sitting with those emotions is really gonna help you guys. I'm also being told for some of you guys to work with cinnamon. Cinnamon can help you with prosperity. Maybe if you are sitting with your affirmations or manifestations in the morning, speaking them aloud and burning some cinnamon. Maybe using the cinnamon stick as kind of like a sage, like a sage stick, and kind of putting it around your body, waving it, the smoke around your body, and speaking affirmations into it. I feel like that may help as well. Yeah, I also think candle magic might also work for you as well. So, you know, gold candles and green candles for like finances, and then adding, you know, herbs like juniper and things like that to create abundance. I feel like that's really going to help you guys as well. Yeah, let's pull some more cards. So pile number 3, what is hindering my pile number 3's growth, and how can they... I think a lot of what's hindering your growth is in your subconscious energy, and I think doing shadow work is going to be what lifts that up to just bring that flow of abundance in. It's like removing the rocks that were stopping the river from flowing to really be in, you know, in that energy of receiving that abundance. But I think subconscious shadow work, you know, shadow work on wherever you know you have triggers and wounds and feelings of insecurity, doing shadow work there and following it back to where it was in childhood, and really listening to your inner child and meditating and connecting to that part of you. That's kind of the key for you guys. Yeah, so pile number 3, what is blocking my pile number 3 success, and how are they going to turn it into abundance? Yeah, we have cave retreat, and it's reminding me again of that healing energy. It's all in the subconscious, because even with the 10 of Swords, it's like rebirth. You may even be going through an ego death right now, which is the answer to you creating abundance in your life. Like, you may have been trying to create abundance and then couldn't, and then gone through like an ego death, dark night of the soul. That's allowing you to be aware of these wounds, and on the other end of purging these wounds out is where that abundance is. It's not that anyone was holding it away from you. It was just your energy deciding, I'm ready for this, because you've detangled what was holding you back, sort of thing. Pile number 3. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys are actually going through an ego death to stop this from continuing. So honor these emotions coming up. They're vital for you to work through. We also have earth nurture. Let me just cover it up because, you know, we have earth nurture. Again, nurturing, allowing yourself to hold space for yourself, hold space for your inner child, hold space for all of these feelings that are coming up so that you can plant yourself down and grow. And again, watering, nurturing, receiving that healing energy, receiving that understanding, receiving, you know, the space that's being held for you, receiving their cleansing, receiving their surrender, you know, their energy of surrender. It's like receiving. That's what you're balancing out. That's what's been stopping the growth, I feel. And we have journey, imagination. And the back of the deck, you have fire, passion. You have lots of fire and lots of passion and lots of good ideas and a really good head on you to build what you need. That's been built within you from the get-go. Really good at it. Like, strong masculine energy. It's just aligning with your feminine energy now, to receive that. And it's not that you're neglecting the masculine energy. Everything's a to and fro. We, you know, if we're too much in feminine energy, then we're not working and we're not planting seeds and we're just receiving and we're not working for ourselves and to get that abundance, and we're here to do that. And there's a whole other side of it where people may be the other end of the spectrum, but I feel like you're this side of the spectrum and you're learning to come up here. Yeah. I also feel like you're the type of people for like people's birthdays and stuff like that. Like, you do everything for everyone, and then it's like you feel uncomfortable receiving gifts back or people doing for you, and learning to be open to that, because you deserve to have beautiful gifts and you deserve to have things bought for you or have people take care of you. You deserve that, you know. It's really stepping into that and honing in on that as well, because maybe in relationships you are very good at giving love, but you find it a bit hard to receive. And I think that tapping into why you feel that way, and following it down, I think that's going to be the answer to turning it into success. Pile number 3. What is hindering my pile number 3's growth, and how can we turn it into abundance? Oh goodness. What is hindering my pile number 3's growth, and how can we turn it into abundance? And I want to also say, you're not doing anything wrong. If that's what we're taught in our childhood, we're going to keep repeating it, because how do we know anything different? If we're taught that we have to work for love, we're going to keep doing it. We weren't taught anything else. That's how our brains then set up. But nothing is lost, and we're able to rewire this. We're always able to rewire that. We are all energy. We're able to alchemize out of something. So it's not that you were doing anything wrong. That's just how you were raised. So please forgive yourself if you feel down and out for being in energies like that. Please forgive yourself for that, and don't beat yourself up for that, because I feel like sometimes you may beat yourself up for not having it all together. And I think that's where another thing of the worthiness comes in from. Don't beat yourself up for that. You did what you needed to do with what you knew at the time, you know? And the fact that you've mastered your masculine energy that well, like, that's huge. Like, you know how to put hard work into things. You know how to master the physical realm. You know how to do that. You're just learning to balance that now. And it's not that you've been doing anything wrong. Maybe that was part of your journey to master one energy first and then master the other, you know? Or maybe you're here to clear karma. So naturally you had to embody the energy of overgiving and being in that masculine energy. You had to embody it, because that was a family you incarnated into to then bring the feminine energy back. So you had to embody it to bring it back. And maybe that was part of clearing the karma, and you were here to do that. So it's don't bully yourself for that is a strong message. And then we have Ocean of Eternal Love. Healing, creativity, and fertility. And those are 3 energies that are associated with the divine feminine. And you literally have the moon and the ocean here, which is that watery energy. You know, holding space for yourself, holding space for your own healing, holding space for you to enjoy life and be creative, you know what I mean, and not have to be on the go all the time. I see you guys going and enjoying yourself and then bullying yourself for enjoying yourself, you know, and you're not here to just work. You're not here to be in fight or flight all the time. You're here to rest and feel safe and enjoy life and have fun and take trips and be happy. You're here to do that, you know? Yeah. Embodying your inner divine feminine and healing where you feel you have to work to have something back. Like, where you don't feel comfortable surrendering and receiving, that's what's hindering the growth. And the way you're going to clear that is shadow work and connecting to your inner divine feminine and your inner divine mother. And then we have, do you know what I would say? This helped me a lot, and I want to say this. If you do feel that you didn't have those feminine energies growing up, write down everything that you feel you would have wanted in a mother or a parent, in that divine feminine energy when you were younger. So I wish, for example, for me, you know, my mother was very absent, had substance abuse issues, and I didn't get the mother that I needed. So there was a lot of needs that went unmet with me. And when I needed to reparent myself, I wrote down everything that I wished I had in a mother and a father, because my father was absent too. So I wrote down everything I needed in a father, and I wrote down everything I needed in a mother. And when I wrote down the list, it was pretty long. And it's triggering at first, because you realize you didn't have those things. And let yourself purge and cry that you had a lack of that. Once you've done that, you want to tick off the list these traits and give them to yourself. I wish I had a mother that nurtured me and made me feel safe. Okay, well, I'm going to nurture myself and make myself feel safe. What makes me feel safe? I'm so disconnected from my own needs. I don't know what makes me feel safe. And I have to feel safe in order to surrender and receive. So what makes me feel that way? Let's tap into it. And the more we tap into that and we understand what makes us feel safe, we can do it for ourselves. We're nurturing ourselves, and now we feel comfortable with surrendering, you know? and so on and so on and so on. I wish I had someone that listened to my emotions. Well, now I'm going to hold space and listen to all of my emotions and put them at the forefront, because I deserve to have my feelings heard and listened to, and I deserve to purge, and I deserve to feel these emotions. And then your inner child's like, oh, okay, it's safe to feel these emotions. And then comes the tsunami of emotions that our inner child's been holding deep, you know. And as time goes on, you realize that that murky water that we were healing in, it's no longer that murky. We've been clearing it with our own healing, and now we're able to receive, because we've just been wading in the subconscious waters of where we didn't feel worthy of this and that, and we've given it to ourselves, and our inner child has relearned, we've repatterned our brain, and now we're comfortable with receiving, and now we're comfortable with this and that, and we believe that we're worthy because we tell ourselves we are, because we know we are, we fuel that from within, you know, and so on and so on. So I feel like a lot of the answers here are in your subconscious. But yeah, that parent thing, especially the mother thing, or your own feminine energy, I think that would really help you guys. And then taking that off the list. And the back of the deck, you have Eternal Dance, Wheel of Life, Path of Less Resistance. So it's almost like I'm resisting surrendering, I'm resisting receiving, I'm resisting help, because that's another one, you know, with that feminine energy, we want to, it's okay to receive help, it's okay to fall back, it's okay to let, you know, that take the wheel, it's okay to not be in control sometimes. I think allowing yourself to flow into that with the Wheel of Life, I think that's going to really help you guys. So pile number 3, that is what I have for you guys. I do want to say as well, because it's coming through, your spirit guides are saying, if you don't know where to start, call on your spirit guides for help and open up to receiving that help, because your spirit guides are here to help you with that and healing those wounds. So call to your spirit guides for help. That's a strong thing that just came through. So pile 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.